Hey guys, I wanted to talk about something that was super important to me, and I feel like I'm in like an old MTV TV show confessional, like Charm School. Oh my gosh, did I say that? Anyway, I've just dated myself, I'm sure. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something that really was important, I think, as business owners to understand is that when you're trying to implement systems and software and procedures and processes into your business, no matter what stage of business you're in, whether you're just starting out or whether you're a seasoned pro and you're really starting to get in that automation kick, which is amazing, there is something that you have to fundamentally step back and do before you can implement any system, any software, any programs. You need to understand as a business owner what exactly you do for your clients. And we could talk about, what the value for your price is and how you make them feel and what they're going to get out of working with you. But really, you also know as a service provider what services you offer, how you offer them, and be able to explain to a client in clear, concise language exactly what you do for them, what the standard operating procedures are in terms of if I'm a wedding planner, I am going to first meet with you and talk about how you want your wedding to look. Is it, a wedding, Meghan Markle wedding? And so now that you have that idea of what you want, how do we bring that into your budget? And here's the ways that we talk about adding my genius to my design flair to your wedding and my connections so that you can get the most for your money, and create the experience that you want so you're not concerned on your wedding day. But here's the steps that I take. I meet with you, I meet with the vendors, I negotiate your contracts, and knowing what those steps are, what the milestones are, and when things are actually getting to happen while working with the client. All those things need to be planned out before you can actually get a system in place. You need to know what time frames everything is and what your steps yourself as a person or your team have to do in order for these things to happen. Until you have that down and really know how to deploy your business, there is no way you can box it up and put it into a software and system and make it work the way you want it to work until you fundamentally know what you're trying to do. So if you're coming into business and just starting out and saying, I want to be a website designer, I know how to build websites, let's build websites. How are you working with the client? What are your proofing stages? What are your wireframes? What are your milestones and time frames? And when do you know when you're done with each piece? And what are the conversations that you have with the client and how many revisions do you get? All of those things need to be planned out before you try getting a system in place and you're trying to put a software in place and automation and all of that stuff, all the workflows. If you don't know what you're doing in your business, then you're not going to be able to implement a system. So I think the important thing is, especially I tell people to map out their processes, and it's not just so you can draw a map, draw a picture, check the box, okay, make it happen. Like really think about what the client experience is, what your fundamental things that you're doing behind the scenes are, and what the process actually looks like so that you can create those processes with software and the way that you run your business and the communication that you have with your client. You have to have that first before you can get those software in place. So I really want you to think about before you try getting some fancy software or hiring a consultant like me, make sure that you know what you're doing in business and really have a clear picture of what your service plans are and your expectations for your clients, all those things. Because how you deploy them and what software you put them in, what box you put them in, what buttons you press, that's all fine and dandy. But until you really know what your business is, you're not going to be able to implement software. I work with my systems boot camp clients a lot about mapping out your systems, but really understanding the fundamentals behind what you're doing and how you're doing it. So if you are to the point where you know what you do for your business, definitely let's chat. I'm happy to talk with you about what systems look like and how to automate and make your life much easier and more efficient. And if you're not there yet, definitely can sit down with you with a strategy session and figure out what those plans look like, what your business actually looks like. So hopefully you understand the difference between knowing what your business does and then trying to deploy it as a system. And hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon.